Okay, you guys remember I started a series called CreepyPasta Storytelling of Season 2. This is the second video in that series. The last one was, I, I'm pretty sure it was a fan-made, fan fiction about Drake. But I think this is also a fan-made, but I don't know to say, but hey. Why my phone going off? Why are you doing that, phone? Let's just get into it, I guess. This is a Zeph the Killer one, if you did not know. After weeks of unexplained murders, the ominous unknown killer is still on the rise. After little evidence has been found, a young boy states that he survived one of the killer's attacks and bravely tells his story. I had a bad dream and I woke up in the middle of the night, says the boy. I saw that for some reason the window was open, even though I remember it being closed before. I went to bed, I got up and shut it once more. Afterwards, I simply crawled under my covers and tried to get back to sleep. Sorry guys. That's when I had a strange feeling like someone was watching me. I looked up and nearly jumped out of my bed. There, in the little ray of light illuminating from behind my curtains, were a pair of two eyes. They weren't regular eyes. They were dark, ominous eyes. They were bordered in black and just plain out terrified me. That's when I saw his mouth, a long, horrendous smile that made every hair on my body stand up. The figure stood there watching me. Finally, after what seemed like forever, he said it, a simple phrase, but said in a way only a madman could speak. He said, "Go to sleep." I let out a scream. That's what sent him at me. He pulled up a knife, aiming at my heart. He jumped on top of my bed. I fought him back. I kicked, punched, I rolled around, trying to knock him off me. That's when my dad busted in. The man threw the knife. It went into my dad's shoulder. The man probably would have finished him off if one of the neighbors had alerted the police. They drove into the parking lot and ran towards the door. The man turned and ran down the hallway. Heard a smash like glass breaking. As I came out of my room, I saw the window that was pointing towards the back of my house was broken. I looked out and to see him vanish into the distance. I can tell you one thing, I will never forget that face, those cold, evil eyes, and that psychotic smile. They would never leave my head. Okay guys, I'm gonna pause right here. But y'all can see my face as well as behind me. If there's something behind me, y'all would tell me, right? Yeah, I trust you guys. I'm pretty sure it wouldn't leave my head if that happened to me. I pray to God I do not have nightmares tonight. I'm already creeped out. Okay, we're good. I'm not looking out of my bed. Police are still on the look for this man. If you see anyone that fits the description of this story, please contact your local police department. Hello, police, hello? Yeah, you know that guy? Yeah, you don't? Oh, but he's, okay, see ya. Please think I'm crazy. Zeph and his family had just moved into a neighborhood. His dad had gotten a promotion at work, and they thought it would be best to live in one of those fancy neighborhoods. Zeph and his brother Liu couldn't complain though. A new, better house, what was not to love? As they were getting unpacked, one of the neighbors came by. "Hello," she said, "I'm Barbara. I live across the street from you. Well, I just wanted to introduce myself and to introduce my son." She turns around and calls her son over. "Billy, these are all new neighbors." Billy said hi and ran back to play in his yard. "Well," said Jeff's mom, "I'm Margaret, and this is my husband Peter, and my two sons Jeff and Liu." They each introduced themselves, and then Barbera, Barbera invited them to her son's birthday. Jeff and his brother were about to object when their mother said that they would love to. When Jeff and his family are done packing, Jeff went up to his mom. Mom, why would you invite us to some kid's party? If you haven't noticed, I'm not some dumb kid. Oh, snap. Jeff, said his mother, we just moved here. We just so that we want to spend time with our neighbors. Now we're going to that party, and that's final. Jeff started to talk, but stopped himself, knowing that he couldn't do anything whenever his mom said something was final. He walked up to his room and plopped down on his bed. He sat there looking at his ceiling when suddenly he got a weird feeling. Not so much pain, but a weird feeling. He dismissed it as just some random feeling. He heard his mother calm down to get his stuff, and he walked down to get it. The next day, Jeff walked downstairs to get breakfast and got ready for school. As he sat there eating his breakfast, he once again got that feeling. This time it was stronger. It gave him a slight tugging pain, but he once again dismissed it. As he and Liu finished breakfast, they walked down to the bus stop. They sat there waiting for the bus, and then all of a sudden, some kid on a skateboard jumped over them only inches above their laps. They both jumped back in surprise. Hey, what the hell? So, this is, I think this is like a backstory about Jeff, the killer. Maybe, perhaps? Maybe? It's a backstory. I don't know. Does she even have a brother called Liu? Am I even pronouncing that right? Am I just going crazy and asking stupid whatever? Let's continue. The kid landed and turned back to them. He kicked his skateboard up and caught it with his hand. The kid seems to be about 12, 1 year younger than Jeff. He was in CreepyPasta shirt and ripped blue jeans. So Jeff is 13? Well, looks like we got some new meat. Suddenly, two other kids appeared. One was super skinny and the other was huge. Well, since you're new here, I'd like to introduce ourselves. Oh, there's Keith. Jeff and Lou looked over to the skinny kid who had a dopey face that you would expect a sidekick to have. And he's Troy. They looked over to the fat kid. Talk about a double lot. This kid looked like he had exercised since he was crawling. And I, said the first kid, and Randy. Now, for all the kids in this neighborhood, there is a small price for bus fare, if you catch my drift. Lou stood up, ready to punch the lights out of the kid's eyes when one of his friends poured a knife on him. I'd hope you would be more cooperative, but it seems we must do this the hard way. The kid walked up to Liu and took his wallet out of his pocket. Jeff got the feeling again. Now it was truly strong, a burning sensation. He stood up, but Liu was asking him to sit down. Jeff ignored him and walked up to the kid. Listen here, punk. Give back my bro's wallet or else. Then he put the water in his pocket and pulled out his own knife. Oh, and what will you do? Just as he finished the sentence, Jeff popped the kid in the nose. As Randy reached for his face, Jeff grabbed the kid's wrist and broke it. Ooh. Wow. That's, Randy screamed and Jeff grabbed the knife from his hand. Oh no. This is when, no, please. Troy and Keith rushed Jeff, but Jeff was too quick. He threw Randy to the ground. Keith lashed out at him, but Jeff ducked and stabbed him in the arm. Keith dropped his knife and he fell to the ground screaming. Troy rushed him too, but Jeff didn't even need the knife. He just punched Troy straight in the stomach and Troy went down as he fell. He puked all over. Liu could do nothing but look in amazement at Jeff. In amazement. 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 That's what you want to. If I seen. Well, actually, that would be self-defense, basically, you know. Cause the kids that, cause those Randy and his gang basically did attack them first by pulling knives on them. So basically that's self-defense. So I'm gonna let that go as self-defense, not as attempted murder. Is that how you? Is that how you? That was all he said. They saw the bus coming and knew they'd be blamed for the whole thing, so they started running as fast as they could. As they ran, they looked back and saw the bus driver rushing over to Randy and the others. As Zeph and Lou made it to school, they didn't dare tell what happened. All they did was sit and listen. Lou just thought of that as his brother beating up a few kids, but Zeph knew it was more. It was something scary. As he got that feeling, he felt how powerful it was. The urge to just hurt someone. He didn't like how it sounded, but he couldn't help feeling happy. He felt that strange feeling go away and stay away for the entire day of school. Even as he walked home due to the whole thing near the bus stop, and how now he probably wouldn't be taking the bus anymore. He felt happy. When he got home, his parents asked him how his day was, and he said in a somewhat ominous voice, "It was a wonderful day." Next morning, he heard a knock at his front door. He walked down to find two police officers at the door, his mother looking back at him with an angry look. "Zeph, these officers tell me that you attacked three kids, that it wasn't regular fighting, and that they were stabbed." "Stabbed, son." Jeff's gaze fell on the floor, showing his mother that it was true. "Mom, they were the ones who pulled the knives on me and Liu." "Son," said one of the cops, "we found the three kids, two stabbed, one having a bruise on his stomach, and we have witnesses proving that you fled the scene. Now what does that tell us?" Zeph, I'm gonna defend Zeph here because, okay, I know I don't hate me for this. I'm gonna defend him, okay? But he he defended himself and his brother because those three kids, they wouldn't have been beat up or stabbed. They just walked away and not pulled any knives out. So no, Zeph has no right to be in trouble for that. That's completely self-defense. Zeph knew it was no use. He could say him and Liu had been attacked, but there was no proof of it. There was no proof it was not them who attacked first. They couldn't say that they weren't fleeing, because truth be told, they were. So Zeph couldn't defend himself or Liu. Sorry if y'all can hear my mom and my sister. "Son, calm down your brother. Zeph couldn't do it since it was him who beat up all the kids. So it was me. I was the one who beat up the kids. Liu tried to hold me back, but he couldn't stop me." The cop looked at his partner and they both nodded. "Well, kid, looks like a year in juvie." "Wait," said Liu. They all looked up to see him holding a knife. The officers pulled their guns and locked them on Liu. "It was me. I beat up those little punks. Have the marks to prove it." He lifted up his sleeves to reveal cuts and bruises, as if he was in a struggle. "Son, just put the knife down," said the officer. Liu held the knife and dropped it to the ground. He put his hands up and walked up to the cops. "No, Liu, it was me. I did it." Jeff had tears running down his face. This is up. "Huh? Poor bro, trying to take the blame for what I did. Well, take me away." The police led Leo out to the patrol car. If Jeff attacks these the policemen that did this, that are taking Leo away, I won't blame him. I won't blame him. Can't make me blame him. I won't. "Leo, tell them it was me. Tell them I was the one who beat up those kids." Jeff's mother put her hands on his shoulders. "Jeff, please, you don't have to lie. We know it's Liu, however you pronounce his name. You can stop." Just watched helplessly as the cop car speeds off with Liu inside. A few minutes later, Zeff's dad pulled into the driveway, seeing Zeff's face and knowing something was wrong. Son, what is it? Zeff couldn't answer. His vocal cords were strained from crying. Instead, Zeff's mother walked his father inside to break bad news to him as Zeff wept in the driveway. After an hour or so, Zeff walked back into the house, seeing that his parents were both shocked, sad, and disappointed. He couldn't look at them. He couldn't see how they thought of Liu when it was his fault. He just wanted to sleep, trying to get the whole thing off his mind. 2 days went by with no word from Liu or his ADC. No friends to hang out with, nothing but sadness and guilt. That is until Saturday when Zeff is woke up by his mother with a happy, sunshiny face. Zeff, it's the day, she said, as she opened up the curtains and let light flood into his room. What's today? Asked Zeff as he stirs awake. Why, it's Billy's but oh, you're gonna make him go to You're gonna make him go to a kid's party, okay? Mom, you're joking, right? You don't expect me to go to some kid's party after there was a long pause. Zeff, we both know what happened. I think this party could be the thing that brightens up the past days. Now get dressed. Zeff's mother walked out of the room downstairs to get ready herself. He fought himself to get up. He picked out, my bad, I cannot talk or read, apparently. He picked out a red shirt and a pair of jeans and walked downstairs. He saw his mother and father all dressed up, his mother in a dress and his father in a suit. He thought why they would ever wear such fancy clothes to a kid's party. Son, is that all you're going to wear? Said Jeff's mom. Better than wearing too much, he said. His mother pushed down the feeling to yell at him and hid it with a smile. Now, Zeff, we may be overdressed, but this is how you go if you want to make an impression, said his father. Zeff grunted and went back up to his room. I don't have any fancy clothes, he yelled downstairs. Just pick out something, called his mother. He looked around in his closet for what he would call fancy. He found a pair of black dress pants he had for special occasions and a undershirt. He couldn't find a shirt to go with it, though. He looked around and found only striped and patterned shirts, none of which go with dress pants. Finally, he found a white hoodie and put it on. And that's what he wears now when he kills people. I think. Yeah, I'm pretty sure that's right. I don't know. Regarding that, they both said. His mother looked at her watch. Oh no. Oh, no time to change. Let's just go. She said as she herded Jeff and his father out the door. They crossed the street over to Barbara and Billy's house. They knocked on the door, and at it appeared that Barbara, just like his parents, were overdressed. As they walked inside, all Jeff could see were adults, no kids. The kids are out in the yard, Jeff. How about you go and meet some of them? Said Barbara. Jeff walked outside to a yard full of kids. They were running around in weird cowboy costumes and shooting each other with plastic guns. He might as well be standing a toy or us. Suddenly a kid came up to him and handed him a toy gun and a hat. Hey, wanna play? Hey, wanna pray? As y'all can see, it says P-W-A-Y, not P-L-A-Y. Unless that's how they are pronouncing the word play when they are talking to him, but whatever. No kid, I'm way too old for this stuff. The kid looked at him with that weird puppy dog face. Please. I guess it's just how they're like pronouncing the word. Cause W ain't nowhere near L on the keyboard. Fine, said Jeff. He put on the hat and started to pretend, shoot at the kids. At first he thought it was totally ridiculous, but then he started to actually have fun. It may not have been super cool, but it was the first time he had done something that took his mind off of Liu. So he played with the kids for a while until he heard a noise, a weird rolling noise. Then it hit him. Randy, Troy, and Keith all jumped over the fence on their skateboards. Jeff dropped the fake gun and ripped off the hat. Randy looked at Jeff with a burning hatred. Hello, Jeff, is it? He said. We have some unfinished business. Jeff saw his bruised nose. I think we're even. I beat the crap out of you, and you get my brother sent to ZDC. Randy got an angry look in his eyes. Oh no, I don't go for even. I go for winning. You may have kicked our asses that one day, but not today. As he said that, Randy rushed at Jeff. They both fell to the ground. Randy punched Jeff in the nose, and Jeff grabbed him by the ears and headbutted him. Jeff pushed Randy off of him, and both rose to their feet. Kids were screaming and parents were running out of the house. Joey and Keith both pulled guns out of their pockets. Jeff, you better kill these guys because it's getting on my nerves. First with the whole flipping at the bus stop, and now the kids with the party, and the two kids that are with Randy pull out guns and then say no one interrupts or guts will fly, which means if someone interrupts Jeff and Randy, they said Randy pulled a knife on Jeff and stabbed it into. Oh, come on, Jeff, don't do that. Jeff screamed and fell to his knees. Randy started kicking him in the face. After 3 kicks, Jeff grabs his foot and twisted it, causing Randy to fall to the ground. Jeff stood up, walked towards the back door. Troy grabbed him. Need some help? He picks Jeff up by the back of the car and throws him through the patio door. As Jeff tries to stand, he is kicked down to the ground. Randy repeatedly starts kicking Jeff until he starts to cough up blood. Come on, Jeff, fight me. He picks Jeff up, throws him into the kitchen. Randy sees a bottle of vodka and on the counter smashes the glass over Jeff's head. Fight! He throws Jeff into the living room. Come on, Jeff, look at me. Jeff glances up, his face riddled with blood. I was the one who got you brother sent to ZTC, and now you're just gonna sit here and let him rot in there for a whole year? It used to be insane. Jeff starts to get up. Well, finally you stand and fight. Jeff is now to his feet, blood and vodka on his face. Once again, he gets the strange feeling, oh, yes, yeah. You know, I really don't care anymore. Jeff can kill these 3 kids for all I care. The one in which he hasn't felt in a while. Finally, he's up, says Randy as he runs at Jeff. Then when it happens, something inside Jeff snaps. His psyche is destroyed. All rational thinking is gone. All he can do is kill. He grabs Randy and piles him to the ground. He gets on top of him and punches him straight in the heart. The punch causes Randy's heart to stop. As Randy gasps for breath, Jeff hammers down on him, punch after punch. Blood gushes from Randy's body until he takes one final breath and dies. Yeah! I'm sorry. That's messed up for me to be like, yeah, after that. I'm sorry. Everyone is looking at Jeff now. The parents, the crying kids, even Troy and Keith, although they easily break from their gaze and point their guns at Jeff. Jeff sees the gun straight on him and runs for the stairs. As he runs, Troy and Keith let out fire on him, each shot missing. Jeff runs up the stairs. He and Troy and Keith follow up behind. As they let out their final round of bullets, Jeff ducks into the bathroom. He grabs the towel rack and rips it off the wall. Troy and Keith race and knives ready. Troy swings his knife at Jeff, who backs away and bangs the towel rack into Troy's face. Troy goes down hard, and now all that's left is Keith. He is more agile than Troy, though, and ducks when Jeff swings the towel rack. He drops the knife and grabs Jeff by the neck. He puts him into the wall. A thing of bleach fell down on top of him from the top shelf. It burnt both of them, and they both started to scream. Just wiped his eyes as best as he could, pulled back the towel rack, and swung it straight into Keith's head. As he lay there bleeding to death, he let out an ominous smile. "What's so funny?" asked Jeff. Keith pulled out a light and switched it on. "What's funny," he said, "is that you're covered in bleach and alka." Oh. Jeff's eyes widened as Keith threw the light at him. As soon as the flame made contact with them, the flames ignited the alcohol in the vodka. While the alcohol burned him, the bleach bleached his skin. Jeff let out a terrible screech as he caught on fire. He tried to roll out the fire, but it was no use. It's been like, I don't even know, like 20 minutes, I think. Saul was his mother and the other parents trying to extinguish the flames. That's when he passed out. Wow. Now I can read this. Okay, so guys, apparently we now know why Zeph looks like he does in all the pictures. Because of the bleach, the alcohol, the flames, okay. I'm not scared of Zeph anymore. I'm more sorry for him than anything. Zeph, said Leo. "It's not that bad. Not that bad," said Zeph. "It's perfect." His family were equally surprised. Zeph started laughing slowly. His parents noticed that his left eye and hand were twitching. Zeph, are you okay?" "Okay, now we're getting to the crew." "Okay, I never felt more happy." Oh, the laughs. "Look at me. This face goes perfectly with me." He couldn't stop laughing. He stroked his face, feeling it, looking at it in the mirror. What caused this? Well, you may recall that when Jeff was fighting Randy, something in his mind, his sanity snapped. Now he was left as a crazy killing machine, that is. His parents didn't know. "Doctor," said Jeff's mom, "is my son alright? You know, in the head?" "Oh yes, this behavior is typical for patients that have taken very large amounts of painkillers. If his behavior doesn't change in a few weeks, bring him back here and we'll have him a psychological test." "Oh, thank you, doctor." Jeff's mother went over to Jeff. "Jeff, sweetie, it's time to go home." Jeff looked away from the mirror, his face still formed into a quick smile. "Okay, mommy." Jeff. His mother took him by the shoulder and took him to get his clothes. "This is what came in," said the lady at the desk. Jeff's mom looked down to see the black dress pants and white hoodie his son wore. Okay. So guys, basically now we know why Jeff his face, his clothes, that we know why they look like the creepypasta now. Yeah. That's kind of messed up. What happened to him? I feel sorry for him now. I'm not scared anymore. At the beginning of the creepypasta, I was scared, but now I'm. Later that night, Zesh's mother woke to a sound coming from the bathroom. It sounded as someone crying. She slowly walked over to see what it was. When she looked into the bathroom, she saw a horrendous sight. Zeph had taken a knife and caused a smile into his cheeks. Oh. "Zeph, what are you doing?" asked his mother. Zeph looked over to his mother. "I couldn't keep smiling, Mommy. It hurt after a while. Now I can smile forever." Zeph's mother noticed his eyes ringed and black. Jeff, your eyes. His eyes were seemingly never closing. I couldn't see my face. I got tired. My eyes started to close. I blended out the eyelids so I could further see myself. My new face. Yes. Mother slowly started to back away, seeing that her son was going insane. What's wrong, Mommy? Aren't I beautiful? Yes, son, she said. Yes, you are. Let me go get Daddy so he can see your face. She ran into the room and shook Zeph's dad from his sleep. Honey, get the gun. She started as she saw Zeph in the doorway holding a knife. Mommy, you lied. That's the last thing they hear. Zeph rushes to them with the knife, gutting both of them. There's his face. There's Zeph right there. His brother woke up, startled by some noise. He didn't hear anything else, so he just shut his eyes and tried to go back to sleep. As he was on the border of slumber, he got the strange feeling that someone was watching him. He looked up before Judge's hand covered his mouth. She slowly raised a knife, ready to plunge it into Leo. Leo thrashed here and there, trying to escape Judge's grip. Shh. Judge said, just go to sleep. When you think about it, let's scroll back up here. When you think about it, right? Zeph, when, I don't know. Because when you think about it, Zeph, I don't know how to explain it now. Like, okay, so he's crazy now, so he's insane, but I mean, what do you expect after what he's been through? Anyway, guys, thank you for hanging out with me doing this thing. My point of view on Jeff the Killer is now forever different. See you guys in the next one. Bye for now.